Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. In this video, I continue to build the Nissan GTR R35. I am on stage 64. Now in stage 64, I assemble the body halves together, the front part of the body and the rear part of the body. Fantastic. This car is almost complete. Even though I'm on stage 64, it's really fitting the part and looking fantastic. So if you haven't done so already, head over to Eaglemoss.com and subscribe to this car today. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 64. If you haven't done so already, head over to Eaglemoss and subscribe to this car today. I put a link in the description below. Getting close to getting this body completed and getting it installed on the chassis. So with stage 64, we received the rear body and we're going to install the front body to the rear body. And that should be a lot of fun. It's a beauty. So we have 3 steps over here on the right, and lastly we have a final step, step 4 on the back, and you can see we'll have our body complete here when we're done with this. So let me get the parts out and I'll be right back. And here's stage 64 parts. As you can see, we have the entire body here. Inside we have another screwdriver that they gave us and a couple of bags of screws. So let me take all this out and we'll get a closer look. And here's a close-up of the body that we received. Very nice, big, heavy. It's fantastic. The paint job on it is immaculate. They did put a little protective sheet here over the front. I'll take that off. We did receive a new screwdriver. So that's this right here. It's a larger screwdriver, which makes sense because we're going to be installing this body and you're going to need a bigger screwdriver. I would also suggest the Wera screwdriver, the PH1 screwdriver, which is also a large screwdriver comparable to what Eaglemoss gave us, if you need the bigger handle for bigger hands. So you can see the size of the handle difference there. And then we received AM screws and CM screws. So let's get a closer look at the body here. Once again, there's some metal supports to protect it during shipping, but there's the rear quarters, there's the roof line, door openings, very detailed on the door opening there, the latch mechanism. Let's look underneath. Look at that, fully painted underneath. Very impressive, very impressive. Turn it over the other way here. Door opening there, the rear quarter, the fuel filler port. Now let's look at the back. Very nice there. You can see the profile there, looks very nice. Looks great. So before we start, I'm going to put a washcloth down. We need to take these supports off, turn it over, and we're going to unscrew these supports. And I'll use the big screwdriver from Eaglemoss for that. And these supports, you don't have to save them. You can just throw them away. I'm going to go ahead and save the screws because you never know. You can use some screws in a future build or whatever. And one more comes off here. There we go. And there we go. Looks good there. Turn it back over. So here's our body here. I'm going to move it back just a little bit because we're going to assemble the front body onto the rear body. And here's our front body right here. It's simply just going to insert down on top, and we'll have to press down real hard. We're going to put 4 AM screws up here on top, or we put 5 it looks like, but that looks great. What a fantastic looking car here. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the holes first. And it looks like we just put 4 in. There's 4 areas here where the screws go into. I'm going to use my Vaseline and use lots of Vaseline here. Get plenty in there. Get the screws in. And those of you who followed all my builds, you know that I'm building, the first one I started with was this one and the DeLorean, and I'm also building the DB5. That's very popular. A lot of people have been following my DB5 build, and the Ecto 1 and the Jeep, and I'll be starting on the Eleanor. I have the Eleanor in my possession. I need to get it going for you all. It's a beautiful Mustang. And if you don't know it already, I am also building the R2-D2 half scale. That's been a lot of fun too. So we actually put some screws in on the bottom also, and they're going to go in 2 points. Go right there. So I'm going to put some Vaseline on those. Why am I putting Vaseline on these? Because these screws have to cut their own threads. It just makes it so much easier. Less apt to break the screw off. Screws have been pretty tough. I haven't broken any screws yet, but you never know. You could come across that screw that has a weak point to it and it could break on you, and that would not be good. So, and I'll just put this down right on top here, just like I did before. And it's going to go right down on it. Just like that. Turn this around. Give me a better view of those screw holes. And just put 4 AM screws in. There's 1 started. Really got to squeeze it down tight. I'm going to use my number 1 screwdriver to torque them down really good. they are tight all the way. And go ahead and turn it over. We've got to put 2 more screws in. And these are going to be the hard ones here. So these screws that we put in on the bottom, we put one in here and one over here on the other side. We need to squeeze it really hard to get the screw hole to line up. And we'll put a CM screw into that. And that started there pretty good. Do the same thing on this side. Got to get a really good grip on it. Lines it up with the hole and get the screw started. There we go. Now we tighten it down. And that's tight there. We'll flip it over. And there it is. Completely assembled together. Very impressive. Very impressive there. Very nice. Wow, impressive. And there you have it. That completes stage 64 of the Nissan GT-R build. We put the front half of the body to the rear half, and it's fantastic looking. If you haven't done so already, head over to Eaglemoss and subscribe to this build today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please hit the bell for all notifications, and please subscribe to my channel. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.